Hi guys, welcome back to Book Size Matters,
where reading is optional,
judging is mandatory,
and every romance gets the full group chat treatment. Welcome to March. This year is flying by.
I blinked and now it's my birthday month.
Boom. I know.
Have
you started celebrating? Have you done anything?
No, not really.
Not
Especially
yet?
With this, what is it called to get kink in my neck? Not the good one. But,
not the good kind.
But I slept all wrong. So I'm like...
and not for the right reasons.
Yes, exactly. So if y'all see me turning all awkwardly, it's because of that. Boo.
Okay. So let's jump into our love notes before we spiral. If you're new here, we do full spoilers, not an oops, we hinted at it, not a light recap. We relive the entire book like it's a voice memo you were not supposed to hear. Every twist, every red flag, every why would you do that decision. So if you haven't read it and you care about that, pause now. If you have read it, welcome, you're in the right place. And because we believe in responsible chaos, check the trigger warnings. Dark doesn't mean careless. Protect your heart, protect your peace, and read accordingly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's jump into the dating profile. This is the time where we swipe right on the book stats before we swipe left on the red flags. Yep. All right, so we are reading Lights Out by Navessa Allen. So pause because we are judging a book by its cover.
Let me see that cover real quick.
No context, just vibes. Edith, judge.
Okay, first of all, I don't know much about the book at all, but I've seen it on BookTok.
Like that is like a BookTok-favorite right now.
I've seen the cover a lot. So it definitely is giving dark romance.
Okay.
I feel definitely with the skull. I like the color blue. I think it makes it stand out. Dark romance, and then you see the flowers. So I feel like it's maybe a play on like a... I think it's gonna be female male.
Okay.
Right. And I think it's a play on like like the female main character is probably maybe more, how can I say this, more feminine, more I don't want to say damsel in distress, but yes, I do want to say that. Okay. And then the guy's just like a total like bad boy. That's what it's giving.
Total bad boy. Okay. Unhinged prediction.
I don't want to say this, but maybe the way they meet, I want to say maybe like the ways they meet or something like that is like out of pocket. Either he's like into some funny business, I don't know, and then she falls in love with him because she's just like that. It's like, have you seen those TikToks? It's like when you and your bestie have read too many like dark romance that when they like they like kidnap you and you're like, oh damn, he looks hot. Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I think, maybe something about that.
Okay, those are good predictions. Okay, all right, so let's continue on and let's see how right you are, okay, or how absolutely wrong you are.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. wait, we almost forgot. Is this TBR or immediate jail?
TBR.
Yes. Okay.
TBR.
All right. Okay, so this book has 26 chapters plus an epilogue, and it's approximately 397 pages. So about an average read. It can be read as a standalone, but part of the Into Darkness series. It's dual perspective from first person point of view, so definitely right there with my faves. This is an MF, so you were right. It is me. It's a male and female.
Okay.
And the main characters are Josh and Allie. It is a happily ever after.
Okay.
We like those. Some of the tropes and elements are, it is a dark rom-com.
Oh,
Okay.
wasn't expecting that.
Wait, you said it was a dark romance. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not the calm.
Not
Not the calm part.
Not the calm part. It is a dark rom-com, stalker trope.
Oh, okay.
Morally gray male main character, obsessive male main character,
We love
golden retriever male main character.
Okay. Obsessive and golden retriever.
Yeah, and morally
Sounds
gray.
Just like my type.
You said, okay, my type. He falls first. Masked man.
Oh. Okay. All right.
And kink play.
The good ones.
You said all the good tropes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into some trigger warnings and kinks, guys, because there's quite a few.
Oh, really?
So put your seatbelt on. Warning triggers and some kinks: explicit scenes and sexual content, alcohol consumption, off-page SA, remembered child abuse, meaning it's, like not actively happening in the book. It's remembered, like the character remembers it.
Oh, okay.
Medical content, blood and gore in a hospital setting, discussion of mental health, mentions of serial unalivers and crimes, description of a mass shooting, stalking, invasion of privacy, home invasion, hidden cameras, hacking, theft, remembered unintentional cannibalism,
Ew.
death and murder, remembered car accident, death of a parent, breath play, knife play, gun play, fear play, primal play, mask play, and a consensual dubious consent.
That's a lot of plays.
Yeah. It's a lot of plays. Let me tell you. Okay, so this book has 8 spicy chapters, and those are 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 15, 20, 25, and the epilogue. Okay. All right. Who is ready for Between the Covers?
Let's go. I need my seatbelt.
Yeah, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah. Seems kind of scary.
It's a dark rom-com, so there's just a lot going on.
Okay.
Or, yeah, you'll see. The ER smelled like antiseptic, adrenaline, and exhaustion. Allie had long ago stopped pretending emergency medicine was heroic. It was messy and loud and heartbreakingly human. Tonight had been especially brutal. Trauma cases stacked on top of each other until time blurred into something shapeless and exhausting. Somewhere in the middle of it all, a new nurse named Brinley had witnessed a close-range shotgun wound that left the entire trauma bay silent for a moment too long. When Allie stepped into the break room and saw the girl sitting there, pale and trembling like someone whose nervous system hadn't gotten the memo that the emergency was technically over, she knew exactly what she was looking at: the first crack in the armor. The moment every trauma nurse experiences when the job stops being theoretical and becomes horrifyingly real. Allie didn't waste time asking if Brinley was okay. Nobody was okay after something like that. Instead, she wrapped a blanket around the girl's shoulders, placed a warm cup of tea in her shaking hands, and sat beside her like someone who had walked through the same storm before. She told her the truth. Some people came through those doors already beyond saving. The tragedy was never the nurse's fault. Eventually, another nurse, Tanya, joined them, and the three of them sat there like survivors of the same battlefield. By the time Brinley's breathing slowed and the trembling stopped, the worst of the emotional shock had passed. Allie even drove her home after the shift because sometimes the difference between surviving this job and burning out entirely was knowing someone had your back when the night ended. Only after Brinley was safely inside did Allie finally head home herself. Allie's apartment was quiet in the comforting way that hospitals never were. Fred, her menace of a cat, greeted her with indignant meows as if to say that she had clearly been gone too long, and would now be required to compensate him with snacks and affection. She collapsed onto the couch, still wearing the exhaustion of the shift that had stretched nearly 20 hours, and reached for one harmless little escape she allowed herself: her phone. Specifically, the account of a creator who called himself the Faceless Man. No voice, no identity, just a masked figure in the dark videos that radiated a kind of quiet confidence that made Allie's imagination run absolutely wild. The mystery of it all had turned into a small obsession. The mask, the anonymity, the subtle intensity of someone who seemed to exist outside the ordinary rules of the world. After nights like this, it was easier to disappear into fantasy than sit alone with the echoes of sirens still ringing in her head. Across the city, the man behind the mask stared at his phone with a very different kind of tension building in his chest. Josh had built the faceless man's persona as a controlled outlet, a carefully managed secret identity where he had indulged creativity and curiosity without exposing the parts of himself he kept hidden from the world. His real life was complicated enough. His father had once been infamous, a violent criminal whose face had been splashed across news, headlines, and documentary trailers for years. Josh had inherited that face, which meant anonymity wasn't just appealing, it was necessary. So the mask stayed on, the mystery stayed intact, and the fantasy remained separate from the quiet cybersecurity job that he used to make a living. Until his roommate Tyler casually dropped a piece of information that changed everything. Tyler had been seeing a woman named Allie, and apparently she was a fan of the faceless man. When Tyler showed him the screenshots of one of Josh's video, Josh felt something dangerously close to panic tighten in his chest. She had no idea who he was, but she had already stepped into the world he'd created, and once Josh realized that Allie had not only seen his videos, but had been enthusiastically flirting in the comments about masked fantasies, curiosity started evolving into something far more consuming. Josh told himself it was harmless at first, just observation, just curiosity. But he drove past her neighborhood, then once turned into several times, and then he found himself mapping her routines, studying the security on her house, practicing lock-picking techniques late into the night like someone preparing for a heist he had absolutely no business attempting.
He is crazy.
Every step he took came with a quiet internal warning that he was stepping dangerously close to the same darkness he spent his entire life trying to outrun. But Allie fascinated him, her boldness, her humor in the comments, the way she seemed entirely unafraid of the fantasy she was playing with online. Eventually, curiosity became obsession, and obsession led to a night where Josh stood outside Allie's house in the quiet darkness, lockpick in hand. The break-in was flawless. The door opened with a soft click and Josh moved through the house like a ghost.
What the fuck?
Careful not to leave a single trace behind. Inside Allie's bedroom, he left one thing behind: the mask. Then he installed a small camera in the corner of the room and he waited.
Oh no.
When Allie returned home hours later after another brutal shift, she immediately felt that something was wrong. The mask sat on her bed like an invitation or a warning. Her training kicked in instantly. She grabbed her gun and cleared every corner of the house with careful precision. Watching through the camera feed, Josh felt equal parts impressed and relieved that he had chosen not to stay. Allie was not someone who froze in dangerous situations. She was someone who handled them. Eventually, she secured the house and sat down on her bed, phone in hand, and then something happened that Josh had not expected. Instead of calling the police, Allie opened social media and pulled up the faceless man's account. Moments later, a message appeared in his inbox, and their conversation that night became the beginning of something strange. A push and pull between suspicion and fascination. Allie knew someone had been in her house, but the possibility that the masked man she had been joking about online had actually stepped into her reality sparked an excitement that she couldn't quite rationalize away. Josh tried to maintain distance, but the line between curiosity and obsession had already dissolved. Soon, he was sending gifts, door locks, security devices, protection, every gesture both intrusive and strangely thoughtful, a contradiction that only made the tension between them grow stronger. Eventually, the tension reached a breaking point. One night, after a long hospital stretch and a devastating mass shooting case, Allie stepped into the parking garage and discovered her car already running. And inside the driver's seat sat the faceless man, masked, silent, and waiting. Instead of screaming or running, Allie approached the car with cautious determination. They communicated through text messages, and he insisted he only wanted to drive her home safely. So he placed her gun and knife on the passenger seat within her reach, making it very clear who controlled the situation. After several long moments of hesitation, Allie made the decision that changed everything. She got in the car.
I'm fucking scared, bro.
The drive home became a bizarre mixture of tension, humor, curiosity, and something dangerously close to flirtation. Josh turned on the seat warmers and offered snacks like a strangely considerate kidnapper.
Bro.
Allie remained suspicious, but increasingly intrigued. The storm outside intensified, snow turning the road into a white blur, and a charged atmosphere inside the car grew impossible to ignore. By the time they reached her house, the line between danger and attraction had blurred beyond recognition. From that night forward, their relationship evolved into something neither of them could easily define. Part mystery, part obsession, part strange, chaotic romance. Allie tried to uncover his identity, and Josh tried to hide it. They played elaborate games of cat and mouse, each testing the other's boundaries and intelligence. Despite the insanity of the situation, trust slowly began forming between them, until the night everything went catastrophically sideways. Bradley Blum, a wealthy predator Allie had treated at the hospital. A man who believed his money and family influence made him untouchable. He broke into her house with violent intentions.
What the Oh.
But Josh intercepted him. The confrontation spiraled into chaos, and by the time the dust settled, Brad was dead. The aftermath forced Allie and Josh into even deeper territory than neither of them expected. Secrets, cover-ups, alliances with Allie's mob-connected uncle Nico. Together, they erased evidence, navigated dangerous family politics, and narrowly avoided becoming the next headline in the city that loved scandal. Through it all, their bond deepened, forged into danger, strengthened by trust, and fueled by undeniable electricity that had existed between them from the beginning. And one night, after everything they had survived together, Josh finally asking the question that had been hovering between them for weeks. Would she be his girlfriend?
Oh.
Allie looked at the man. Allie looked at the man who had once been nothing more than a masked fantasy on her phone. The man who had broken into her life in the most chaotic way possible and somehow become the one person who made the world feel safer. And she said yes. Their relationship became a strange blend of intensity, humor, and devotion. Josh's darker instincts balanced by Allie's fierce independence. Their connection built on honesty about the parts of themselves they had both been afraid to show anyone else. Eventually, far from the chaos of the city, Allie found herself running through a forest, breathless and laughing while Josh chased her through the trees in a playful game that perfectly captured their dynamic. When he finally caught her beside a rushing stream, both of them soaked and exhilarated, he pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. Inside was a ring that burned like fire in the sunlight, and right there in the middle of the wilderness, Josh proposed. Allie didn't hesitate. She said yes before he even finished asking. Later that day, they returned to their cabin, only to discover their cats had absolutely destroyed the place. Curtains shredded, furniture overturned, chaos everywhere. Allie looked around at the disaster, and then the man who had once been a mystery hiding behind a mask. And she realized something. Their life together would probably always look a little like this. Wild, unpredictable, messy, but full of laughter, passion, and the kind of love that neither of them had ever expected to find. And honestly, neither of them would have it any other way. The end. All right. First impression, vibe check. Edith?
This is unhinged. As fuck. You're telling me we start as like a fucking stalker, fucking weirdo, whatever they have, right? First of all, it doesn't even start like that. It starts with her, like, oh, I don't know if I touched on there. But it starts with her being into him because she liked the content he posted.
Yeah.
And then, that was one of my questions. What kind of content did he post? Like, you kind of hinted at, but I need like a clear.
So he was just like, okay, so have you gone down Mask Talk?
No.
Okay, so if you ever like alone.
There is such thing as Mask Talk?
Yes, girl. And it's a bunch of like men wearing masks, and they like have, you know, like the very like, you know, physiques that a lot of women are into.
Okay, I've come across one or two of those videos. I didn't know that it was like a whole.
It's a whole thing.
Oh my god,
girl! It is 100% a whole thing.
Okay.
And so basically, he did that kind of content where he like showed his body, but like obviously nothing that would get him like, you know, banned off of social media. But like sometimes like you could see his hand making movements that you're like, I know what you're doing, but it's off camera.
Oh, okay.
So it was very like sexual, but it was like thirst traps.
Yeah, it was
like
literally
it was very much thirst traps. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what he posted, okay.
Yeah. So then basically she had been kind of like casually, not dating. They were more like fuck buddies. This guy named Tyler, but.
Which is his roommate, right?
Yeah, but so she didn't know.
What are the fucking odds?
Yeah, what are the odds? But she had no idea that like that was the roommate. Even though she had like met him very briefly. Yeah. And so like one day she came home and she's like, fuck, like, you know, maybe I need a fuck. Like maybe I just need a good fuck. Like it was after one of her long shifts at the ER. And so she texts Tyler and she sent him she had been on his fucking thirst traps or whatever. And she screenshotted it and sent it to Tyler and was like, hey, would you be down to try something like this? Basically. And that he was like, hey, like, damn. Apparently at that point she hadn't hit him up in like 2 months. So like he was just like, hey, you know, like he's like, I'm kind of seeing somebody, so like, you know, like that's it.
Super respectful.
Yeah. And then he was kind of like, so Tyler kind of was like, oh, like, dude, this fucking girl, like, basically, like, it's been 2 months and she's hitting me up for dick, basically. And then look what she sent me. And so he basically was telling Josh, like, dude, look what she fucking sent me. And so Josh was like, oh, dang. When it's actually because his roommate, like Tyler, doesn't know that Josh is this content creator. Yeah. Like he has no idea. Like that's kind of like a part of himself that he's hidden from Tyler.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he's like, oh, that's me. So then he finds who she is, right?
So basically, okay, so he had briefly met Allie because basically so they're roommates, and so like she had gone over a few times already, and like one of the times like they had been fucking banging all night, and she's pretty vocal when they were banging. And so I guess he could hear it through the fucking vents. Like he could hear them, like, you know, doing what they're doing. And so one night he was like, oh, fuck, I can't sleep, you know? So he got up and he started, or like, it was already kind of like going to be morning. So he had gotten up to make himself coffee. And he didn't realize that Allie had came out of the room. And she was like wearing like a fucking t-shirt. And like, she's a tall girl. So like the t-shirt like kind of was like this, and he was trying not to stare at her because also he didn't really like interacting with people because he didn't want people to recognize him because of his dad. So he would hide his face because he was like, I don't want to talk to her about that kind of stuff, you know? So he was trying to hide his face, and so she never actually really saw his face like head on, but like he had seen her before and he like thought she was attractive and stuff. But then like once Tyler showed her the picture, basically she was like, oh, are you down to try something like this? He was kind of like intrigued because like, oh, she's into that kind of shit, you know? And so he was like, oh, damn. So he was already like, she was kind of cute type shit. And so he was like, wait, she actually fucking watches my content. So he fucking, he's a hacker. So he's a hacker and he created this whole fucking code, and he wanted to see like all of the fucking videos that she interacted with, like liked, commented, whatever. And it turns out that she was watching and liking and commenting on every single fucking video. So he was spent hours going down all of her comments and looking at everything she had written. And so like he became obsessed in that way where he was like, oh fuck, like she's hella into this shit. So then he was kind of like debating like, damn, like, is she for real? Like, for real into this shit? Like, is she down? Or is she just down online?
Yeah.
And so that's why he kind of like was going back and forth of like, damn, would she be down? And so like he, and one of her comments was kind of like, oh, like I would fucking love for a man like this to break into my house. Like the whole thing. So he was kind of like, is that an invitation? And so.
Oh my God.
That's when he created the whole plan of like going into her. But it was his first time like ever doing anything like that. Like he had never gone out of his way to do anything like that. Okay. So like that's why he was like practicing lock picking and all this stuff. But he's also a hacker, so he was able to like turn down like everybody's like, so he could like he knew how to cover his tracks. Like he was like, all right,
that's
so
scary.
Yeah, he shut down all the fucking electricity in that neighborhood so nobody could see him like get into her backyard and like, or not backyard, but like into like how to get into her, you know, space. Yeah. And but it turned, and so what he did was he didn't just leave the mask in her room. He basically created content. He took all his equipment and he created content on her bed.
What the fuck? Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
He created content.
Psycho. Okay.
He created content on her bed in her room or whatever, right? And like kind of like a, you know, like, girl, this is for you type shit, right? Yeah. And so she's at the hospital, and so she was like, oh, it's because he posts very like consistently, like he has a schedule.
Oh, he has a schedule, so she knows.
She knows every day when he's gonna post. Like that's how fucking committed she was to like his account. Yeah, she was like a fan girl.
So she was definitely obsessed with him too.
Yeah, she was. But it again, it was one of those things that it's like kind of like a fantasy, you know? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you know? Like, so she was like, oh my God, he posted. So she was like, she went like during her break, she went to go get her phone. And then so like she saw the video and instantly she was like, oh my God, like I have a bedspread that looks exactly like that. But she didn't know it was actually her fucking bed. And so she's like, oh damn, we have the same, like she's like, oh my God, we have the same bedspread. And so then when she gets home, she's like, something, you know, when someone has been in your space and you feel it, mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. So she was like, something feels fucking off. So she goes and then she was like, oh my God, something's on my bed. And that's when she sees the mask. Girl, she pulls out her gun real quick. Because she's also trained in martial arts or something like that. So she's definitely not one of the dainty like princess in distress that you kind of predicted. She's the opposite. So she was kind of like gets her fucking gun and she's like checking every like part of the house. It's just like, what the fuck? And the whole time Josh is so fucking entertained, like watching her through
he's watching her
through the hidden camera. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so he's like, damn, good thing I wasn't there, because that bitch would have shot me. Like,
so does that hidden camera stay on for like a long time? Like he sees explicit shit?
Oh no, actually at one point she kind of was starting to get off on her, like she was like playing with herself, you know, like the fantasy. And he watched the beginning of it, and like when she's kind of like, you know, getting into the mood and stuff like that. And as soon as she was gonna like really start, he shut the camera off because he was like, no, like I don't want to invade her privacy. Like after everything he's done, he's like, I
don't want to invade her privacy.
There has to be some kind of boundary. He was like, I
got morals.
He's like, yeah, I got some morals. He's like, I had to give her some kind of boundary. So he like shut the camera off until one point, like once they were kind of having their little cat and mouse game, she turned on the camera and she started like playing with herself in front of it, like giving him a show.
So she knew the camera was it.
At one point, she figured it out because he had texted her something. Like he texted her something and she's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, how do you know? Like, are you watching me? Girl, and then like she fucking sees the camera and she's like, oh hell no. And she was pissed. She was pissed.
Not that pissed.
But yeah, she was not that pissed.
Damn. Okay. All right. I think you mentioned it, but what did his dad do?
He was a serial killer.
He was a serial killer.
Yeah, okay. He was a serial killer, and I think I forgot, like he definitely targeted like weak women, like not weak, but vulnerable women, like I think like sex workers and stuff like that. Oh, okay. But then at one point they had, this is the cannibal part. Trigger warning. Basically at one of the party, like they had a block party and he made he fucking made some food for the whole block, like at the block party, and it had human in it. And so like they didn't end up finding out till like later. And so that's why, so Josh is actually vegan. He's vegan or vegetarian. He doesn't eat meat because that fucking triggers him, because I don't think he ate. Oh no, I think he did accidentally eat some of whatever his dad made, and it had like human in it. So now like so now he's like a vegetarian vegan type shit. And then so Tyler and Josh had been like friends since childhood, and so like Tyler's not vegan or vegetarian because at that same cookout or whatever, he had a hot dog, so he didn't eat whatever, but just like thinking about it was kind of like you know.
Oh, so that's why he was roommates with him, because they've been together for so long. So Tyler knew what was up with his dad.
He knew everything. And so like I guess they went to the same school, and then shit got out, and then everybody started like harassing him, like podcasters, like media. They would constantly
wants to know.
Yeah, they want to know the fucking tea, and they would constantly go up to him and try to interview him. So he would, and so anybody who's into true crime and they like kind of like know about that story, like they would constantly try to like ask him questions. So they ended up leaving the whole like the college that they were going to. And Tyler was like, he might have been douchey because he was kind of like fuckboy douchey, but he was like fucking ride or die for his best friend. And he was like, all right, dude, like let's just fucking move, let's go somewhere else. And so Tyler like left his whole life too, and they moved to where they're living at now, so that they could kind of get away from all of it.
At what point did he tell her about her dad, about his dad?
He didn't tell her until like she kind of figured it out like towards I want to say like 2/3 into the book, like later.
Oh, later on.
Yeah, like she didn't find out right away.
Oh, and when did the mask come off? Because I don't know if I missed it. Okay.
It kind of, so oh my god,
because I feel like this whole thing, I could see it play out with his mask on, and I'm like,
most of it for a long time he did have his mask on. He even bought like a voice modulator, because obviously he didn't want to talk to her like through text message the whole time. So he bought a voice modulator to like change his voice when he would talk.
Oh, he was committed.
He was fucking committed to. Also, it was like keeping the fantasy alive, right? Yeah. Because like she, like at this point they were fucking already, and he was still like with his mask on. Like so basically she kept trying to figure out, like that's where the cat and mouse kind of like, she would keep trying to figure out like who this masked man is, the faceless man. But she also kind of liked the mystery of it. Like it was just like, it kind of kept it like interesting, you know? And so she would kind of try and figure it out, but he would kind of like be 2 steps ahead of her the whole time, and he would like cover his tracks so that she wouldn't figure it out. And it even got to the point where like she fucking was trying to get like hair follicles or like off his jacket or something like that, and she took it to the laboratory at the hospital to try and get like DNA.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but he was smart because he ended up wearing Tyler's jacket or something like that, and so like it was not confirmed when she tried to like match the DNA, but she did start suspecting it was Josh at some point, because obviously he's a hacker. And she knew about it because Tyler had at some point mentioned his roommate was like a reclusive fucking cybersecurity guy. And at one point even Tyler kind of would like hooked him up, like because she messaged Tyler like, hey, like I'm not trying to fuck her or nothing, but like I remember you told me hey, like I remember you told me your roommate was like some kind of hacker or something, and is he able to help me like try and find out who somebody is? And so like Josh at that point like was like, oh fuck, like he was like, damn, like what if she figures out it's me? And so like he ended up meeting up with her, and so like she saw him and she was like, god damn, he's hot, like what the fuck? And I was fucking with Tyler, like she was like, damn, he's hella hot. And so she went over to their house, and so like I think she instantly started thinking like, what if it's Josh, because it had the same height and build. And so she was like, so what she did was like she would fucking text to see if his phone would light up, but he had a fucking secret phone. And so she's like, oh fuck. And he had set it up so that if she texted the phone, it would text her back like if it was him. So that way, like obviously if he's doing something and he's like, there's no way he's texting her, like she's texting back and forth with like this automated message thing. Like he really was committed to like, but she was like, no, like dude, I just feel it in my bones like it's Josh. Like so she knew it was him. So then basically what happened was, like they were fucking or whatever, right? They like had just fucked, and then that fucking Bradley had broken into her house.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck? Like somebody's breaking in. So then Josh was like, oh fuck. And he was like, oh my God, I have to, like, and he was trying to protect her. So he fucking goes, and then he like surprises Bradley, and they end up like fucking like what is it, like tying him up and stuff like that, and they were gonna go like leave him somewhere else. They weren't trying to kill him. Like it was that when that happened, that was a total accident. Like they were trying to like, so they like hog tied him and they threw him in the fucking trunk of the car, and they were gonna go leave him somewhere or whatever. But then like wherever I forgot where they got to, and they were gonna like throw him, Allie was like, oh my God, you killed him on accident, because when he like taped his mouth shut, he also taped his nose. So it was like his mouth and nose were taped up and he couldn't breathe. So he died, like he died on accident. And so Josh was like, oh my God, I fucking killed somebody. And he started panicking because he never wanted to be like his dad. And he basically killed somebody. And so he was like, dude, he starts fucking throwing up. And he takes the Bakalov, the fucking ski mask type shit. So he like takes it off and he's like throwing up. And then at that point, Allie was like, so is this the wrong time to say that I knew you were Josh the whole time? She's like, that I knew your identity.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Let me read you the part. I fucking bookmarked it because I'm like, dude, that is fucking hilarious. Like, she's like, I know this is the wrong time, but I was right. Like, I told you.
That's funny.
She goes, hold on. I hella bookmarked it because I'm like, dude, this shit is fucking hilarious. He goes, she goes, you put the duct tape over both his mouth and nose. He's dead. I snapped my focus to Brad, and oh fuck, she's right. His eyes were wide and unblinking, and his skin had already pale sheen that seemed unnaturally bloodless in the moonlight. My guts heaved. I ripped the balaclava off and ran to the nearby bushes, dropping to my hands and knees as my stomach tried to expel everything I'd ever eaten. So much for not leaving piles of DNA behind. Allie squatted next to me, rubbing my back and making soothing noises as I retched. This is probably a bad time to gloat over the fact that I was right about your identity, isn't it? I puked and laughed, and no, I don't recommend it. I had just killed a man, and my unhinged partner in crime was cracking jokes. Fuck me, I muttered. Kind of a weird time to offer, Allie said without missing a beat. Can I take a rain check until after we've disposed of the body and you get a chance to brush your teeth?
Oh my God.
So yeah, so basically that's when the mask came off, and like she basically was like, I was right, I knew it was Josh. And she was like, but she was happy it was Josh, because when she saw him, she's like, damn, he's hot. Like, yeah, like he's not some fucking ugly ass creepy looking guy, you know?
Like he's definitely good to look at. Okay. I was wondering because I was like, I don't think you like mentioned it, and I was like, wait, when unless the whole time they were like, he was just mask on.
Well, he was masked for a long time.
This Blum guy that they ended up killing accidentally. Did he show interest for her? Like, is it something like that kind of like went on more than just him breaking into the house? Was it like, do you get me? Like, is there like...
So there's a backstory. Is that what you're asking? Like, if there's a backstory? Mm-hmm. Yes. So basically she was at the hospital one day, and like he had already been there like the week before because he had been caught red-handed like sexually assaulting someone. Mm-hmm. And so she was taken to the hospital, and they had to perform a rape kit and all that stuff. And then her brothers found out, and they beat the shit out of him. So he was in the same hospital as she was, like, after everything went down and they caught him. But because, again, wealth and power, his parents were able to basically hide it. Even though he was caught red-handed, like, they basically were like, it wasn't enough to, like, do something about it. So he didn't really, and so everybody at the hospital, like, because nobody wants to be like ayudándole, like nobody wants to be helping a fucking abuser and predator like that. And so like everybody like all the nurses were like, ugh, type shit. And so then he ended up back at the hospital again a second time for I forgot what else. And so basically none of the nurses wanted to help him. And so Allie was like, fuck, like, you know, we also like can't just leave him there, you know? So she tried to go help him, but he was being a fucking creep. She instantly like just looking at him, like she knew that he was a predator. And so like he was trying to like, you know, make a pass at her. And so she's like, ugh, no, like get away. Like she's just not into it at all. And so like he at one point was trying to grab her, but she like moved out the way. And so then he got mad because all of a sudden she's like denying him, like saying no. And he was just like, he started screaming like, help, help, she's trying to hurt me, like trying to play the fucking victim. And so like he started being like, help, help, like, and so everybody starts running in there, and so does security. And but everybody already knew that he was a piece of shit. Like nobody bought it. And so what's it called? He got mad because they basically like took her side instead of him. And so like I guess that like because like ella basically no se dejó, and he didn't, you know how fucking men and their pride are. And so I think he got as her, and so he went down. Like when they ended up going to his house and like going through his computer and stuff, they ended up obviously seeing that like he had a fucking lengthy history. And so Josh was able to like hack into shit, and he had like a really bad criminal history, but a lot of it he was able to get out of it because of his parents, like, and their power and wealth and all that stuff, and pay off people. And so basically they ended up like breaking into his house to try and delete all of the evidence that led them to Allie, because they also obviously they didn't want nothing to lead back to her. And so what's it called, like he had been fucking like searching everything he could find about Allie to like find everything he could. And so that's how he ended up breaking into her house. And but he wasn't expecting Josh to be there. Yeah, so that's how he kind of came into the picture.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Well, good thing that he was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, accidental murder. Did anything come out, like obviously they killed him, but anything happen after in regards to him? Like were the parents like, were they questioned? Not question, but like good thing you're asking, because when they're in the middle of this like trying to like delete all of the evidence that leads back to Allie, when they actually get into his house or whatever, like as Josh was in there trying to hack the computer, his fucking parents showed up to the house, and they were like, because he went missing and he had already been reported missing, and so they were like, fuck. So the parents broke into his house to try and destroy like his computer, to delete any kind of evidence that he had of like wrongdoing. And like the parents were covering for him. And so then that's fucking gross.
Stop it. So then like they were trying to cover for him and all this stuff. But when they had gotten into his house, they were like, what the fuck? Something reeks in here. And it smelled like dead bodies. And so basically what was happening is, so they fucking destroyed. And at first, like the parents like didn't know what the smell of a dead body, because it's a distinct smell. Yeah. Like if you've smelled a dead body before, like, you know. And so the parents were just like, damn, like he's like, they're over here trying to fucking fire the maid. They're like, damn, we pay this maid really good, and why does the fucking place hella stink and all this stuff, right? But they ended up leaving because they couldn't get into his room, because obviously Josh had whatever, right? But then Josh had an idea, like as he was trying to escape out the window, he fucking broke the window and it set off the alarm system in the house. And so basically like the cops were like, if there's if there's suspicion of something like bad happening, they can go into the house without a warrant. And that was why he did it. Like that's why Josh was like, at right now, like they can't go into his house without a warrant to try and like figure anything out. But because he fucking broke the window, and they thought that somebody was trying to break into, like if there's a home invasion, that allows them to go into the house. And so they got away on foot. And basically by the time the cops got there, and obviously they know the smell, they found bodies under, like in his basement. And so
he was a serial
killer? He was also a killer. Yeah, like he wasn't just a fucking sexual predator, he was also a serial killer. And so when the parents found out, they were like, oh my God, like we had no idea. So they thought that he was just doing bad. So apparently to the parents, God, being a fucking sexual predator was okay because they were fucking covering it up for him. But when they found out that he was like a serial killer, they were just like, oh no, you guys can do, like they basically stepped back and they were like, you guys can do whatever investigation you need to do. And the parents were like, we're not going to cover for him.
Oh, that's where they draw the
That's where they drew the line. Yeah. But that's because also, like, there were powerful people, and obviously they had to do fucking damage control, and they obviously don't want to look like they're covering for him.
They don't want to go down with the...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so basically the way they did it was like somebody got his credit card, or like the Bradley's guy, and they got someone with his height and build or whatever to make it look like he crossed the border into Canada. And so that way they don't suspect that he's actually dead. And they just... So because Allie was like, oh, wait, like my uncle's in the fucking mob, like the mafia or whatever. And so she was like, we can get his help, because she's like, neither Josh or her have ever fucking tried to cover up a fucking, you know, a body. So she was like, let's get the help from my uncle. And so they kind of involved the whole like uncle, and it turns into this whole thing. And so the uncle was able to get someone to like make it look like Bradley was, you know, crossing the border into Canada. And so they suspect that he's like a runaway instead of actually fucking dead.
Damn. Ew. How many bodies?
I think there was 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but he had like the whole basement was covered in cat litter, or like you know when they have like the thing,
the catnip.
No, like where they poop.
Yeah, the cat litter.
Yeah, so he had a whole bunch of that shit in his basement to try and like mask the smell. Yeah. But
oh my god.
Yeah, he was like truly a disgusting person.
Damn. Well, look at his fate. Too bad. So sad. She was part of you mentioned that her uncle was part of the mafia. Mm-hmm. Is that something like her parents were into as well? Or
no. So basically she kind of goes into like how her parents kind of like disowned him, like her uncle, because it was her mom's, I believe it was her mom's brother that was in the mafia. And so I guess like when they were younger, she didn't, like, I guess like they had no connection to like the mob or the mafia or whatever, but like he, for whatever reason, felt the need to get involved. And so like he started like working with the mafia and mob, but like everybody kind of like, what is it called? They kind of like went no contact with him because they don't want nothing to do with that lifestyle and whatever, you know? So like she had only ever met her uncle a couple times, and one of them was like at her parents' funeral, because her mom died in a really bad car accident or whatever. Oh, and so she saw her uncle, but she never really wanted a relationship with them. Like, she wasn't close to them. But he really wanted to have a relationship with the family, because to him, like, family meant everything. Yeah. And so part of the deal was like, hey, like, we'll help you cover up this dead body, but like, you have to like come to family dinners at least once a week or something like that. So then she had to start going to family dinners with them. Like,
I was about to say, was there an exchange for
like, the he basically wanted like he wanted to get to know her and stuff like that.
Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's not how I thought that book was gonna go. That was definitely, I mean, I had a little bit part like with the mask and kidnapping, that whole car situation. I'm like, this bitch. But you know what? To each their own, their fantasy, as long as they do it in a safe way. That's all that matters, right? But that's crazy. This guy, like, especially at the beginning, he just goes in there, films fucking content, leaves his little parting gift. And she's okay. Girl, no. I mean, in this fantasy world, it's crazy because, like, you, like, in a book, like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a story. Like, you get me? But I feel like if that would happen in real life, I'd be, what the fuck? Yeah. You're freaking out.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite parts, because this book, I was originally going to rate it like a 3.5. I was, because it was just... I feel like I made it, like, I gave you all the highlights. It was just, I feel like it was very predictable. Like, a lot of it, like, the fantasy, like, and it was just all about, like, I feel like, and then I kind of felt like the author kind of merged 2 different plots, like the whole Bradley situation that came in like halfway through, and then all of a sudden they're on this like how to get away with murder fucking like plot line where I was like, what the fuck happened? This went from fantasy to how to get away with murder. Yep. And I was like, what the fuck happened? And so it kind of was like, I feel like she was writing one book and then she kind of ran out of ideas and was like, all right, pivot, and then just went to like
Another plot.
And so at first I was kind of like, what the fuck is happening? So I think what I gave it a whole ass 4 because of one thing and one thing only. Because he was such a golden retriever, and he was actually fucking really giddy about making her his girlfriend. And I was like, that doesn't happen a lot. Like, how many of these romance books, they just fucking, oh, she's mine now. Like, they just have this possessiveness, this claim to the significant other, right? And like, there's never the actual like, will you be my girlfriend thing, you know? And we, you know, in real life that that doesn't even happen anymore.
No, not anymore. Like, but that's why you got to stand your ground, girl.
Yeah. So it's like they fall into these fucking relationships. Yeah. And I gave it a whole ass 4 because of that thing and that thing only. Like,
it's like the romance is kind of lost.
I'm like, look, let me tell you, I saved it because I was like, I got to read this to Edith. Okay, so he said, you never gave me an answer, Josh said, snapping me out of my dark thoughts. About what? Whether or not you're my girlfriend. My pulse ratcheted up there with my stomach going aflutter. Are you asking me to be your girlfriend? I said, sneaking a glance over at him. He flashed a wolfish smile at me, and honestly, I forgot about the body in the trunk. Hell, it felt like the sight of those dimples was altering my brain chemistry so that all my future thoughts would revolve around this man. My body's response to his was bad enough. My body's response to his was bad enough, but I was doomed now that I had a face to go along with it. Doomed, I tell you. Whatever self-preservation remained went out the window. This was what I wanted. He was what I wanted. To hell with consequences, and yes, it was all happening faster than was probably normal, but with him, I didn't need months to make up my mind. These past few weeks had been enough for me to decide what my answer would be. He made me feel alive. He dragged me out of the gray world I'd been living in and taught me how to see colors again. In the sea of men who barely put in any effort, this man stood out for going above and beyond. He was the definition of if he wanted to, he would. Because he had done for me what no one else ever had. He not only met but exceeded my needs, both physically and emotionally. He kept me on my toes, never knowing what he would do next. And he did it all while making me blush and laugh, often at the same time. Of course I wanted to be his girlfriend. Hell, if I had it my way, every free moment I wasn't working would be spent in his company from now on. I hoped he understood what he was getting himself into, because while his obsession had started relatively recently, mine had been going on for months, and once I got my claws into him, I didn't plan to let go. He shifted forward, crowding into my space, and in a way that made my breath hitch and my nerves spark. Allie, do you want to be my girlfriend? The position comes with snacks and orgasms and maybe a little light stalking. I grinned and said yes. He swooped in and kissed my cheek, and I couldn't remember the last time I'd been so happy, even with a dead body not 5 feet away from me. Even on my way to ask the last person I wanted for help, Josh distracted me from all the awful bullshit and made me feel good instead. Maybe this relationship had started out on a questionable footing, and maybe we still had a lot to learn about each other outside of our mutual stalking, but saying yes to being Josh's girlfriend felt like the easiest decision I've made in a long time, and no matter what was to come or what secrets Josh still held, I doubted anything would ever make me regret it. That alone, I was like 4, because this doesn't happen often, like. And like, he was definition of if he wanted to, he would. If he really wanted to, he would. He was definition. And I was like, 100%, this is a 4. That was the only reason why I was like, this is 100% a 4.
Took it up that notch. Because, you don't really hear, like, the whole girlfriend, like, will you be my girlfriend thing in a lot of romance books overall, And
in real life.
Like, people just, like, happen to just walk into a relationship and there's no, like, clear thing. I mean, but for some people it's okay. For others, we want that, so it's refreshing seeing it, like, in a book. Something you could read that it actually happens, even though, like, their whole how they started was a little interesting,
questionable. Yes,
but that's so cute.
But he was such, like, such a golden retriever, and I think because of him, I gave it a 4. Also, he got along with her cat from the moment he broke into her house the first time. He got along with her cat Fred, and like it turned into this whole thing where like they were like, you know, that little cat and mouse, and like the push and pull when they're playing and flirting and all this stuff. And so he would literally start calling him their son. He would be like, oh, we need to talk to our son. We need to set some ground rules. And she's like, our son? Like, what the fuck? And so then like even when they were with like her family or whatever, like at one point he was like, oh, like we need to get back home to our son Fred the cat. And so then the guy was like, you have a kid? Like the cousin to Allie was like, he's like, I didn't look anywhere in your file that you had a fucking kid. And then he's like, wait, are you guys talking about your cat? And he's like, don't talk about our son like that.
Oh, that's so like
cute. I thought it was so cute. Like he was very cute. And like he had a very close relationship with Fred, and so like it was his idea for them to get more cats. That's why at the end they ended up having like another cat because he was like, I think we should have a second one.
Oh, that is so cute. Definitely gives golden retriever.
Yeah,
I love it. Like a little unhinged, but golden retriever for sure. I love it. So 4 stars, you said, right?
Yeah, 4 stars for sure. All right, but I do have questions for you because this book is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so we kind of touched on this, but the stalker premise. A masked man secretly enters his house, leaves things behind, installs cameras, starts texting her. In real life, immediate police report.
Yep.
But in 100%. This book, Allie is like, okay, but wait.
Do you think it's because she kind of knew who it was?
No, she didn't know who he was from the beginning.
Like, no, but like you know how she followed him on social media? So she's like...
She was kind of like, she knew, yes. And I think that had a lot to do with it.
Okay.
But did the stalker trope would work for you as a fantasy, or was this far too romanticized? So if you were like following a content creator, you're like, God damn, daddy, like, you know, and then like all of a sudden he knows who you are and he fucking broke into your house, like, and left you his mask.
In real life, bro, that's immediate police report. That's like, hell no. Hell no. Now, if I kind of already... now we're going into a different territory. Like, maybe I knew him and then maybe this was like
so if you kind of know who was behind the mask, you say? Or no,
like maybe I don't know. Maybe it was in terms like we agreed on this. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, so there has to be some kind of consent.
Yeah, a consent to it. Maybe I could pass it, but if it was out like that, like, oh, I'm just following you on social media, and then out of nowhere you fucking no, absolutely not. No,
you said police report.
Yes, I'd move countries.
And that's what I was gonna say. Do you think it was hot because the book framed it as a this apparently is like it? Do you think the book framed it as a consensual fantasy, or because Josh is competent and attractive?
I think it's because like the book framed it like.
Yeah. Okay. But also, if Josh looked like a random creep instead of a tall, mysterious man in a mask, would the story work?
It would not work. It would not work. If that man was like, obviously nice body, but like he took off his mask and he was fucking horrendous, it would not fucking work. It would not work. No. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Never mind, I'm turned off now.
Yes, exactly. No, it just works because it's a handsome ass guy.
But also, yeah, let's be honest, because if this was like a random guy that gave bad vibes instead of Josh, this would be an episode of Dateline.
Yeah, exactly. It would not be romance. No. So yeah.
Okay. So Josh, stalker or boyfriend material. Josh breaks into her house, but also, you know, sends her like gifts and all that kind of stuff. Sir, are you stalking her or running a home safety consultation?
That's funny though.
Does the thoughtful stalker thing make him less of a red flag or more confusing?
The stalker thing,
but the thoughtful stalker thing, like, does that make him less of a red flag or just confusing?
In the book, like thinking about just the book, I think it makes it less of a red flag because it's like, oh, my safety. But I feel like if it was in real life, it'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, very much. Are you trying to harm me or are you not trying to harm me or what is happening? You get me? Like, it'd be confusing. But I think in the book itself, I think it's like less of a red red flag because it kind of shows that he cares in a weird way, I guess.
Okay. Do you see Josh as morally gray or just unhinged with good manners?
I think morally gray.
You think so? I think he's a little unhinged with good manners.
Yeah, he is unhinged, but I think he's just like, I don't know, maybe.
Do you think there's like a little bit of a dark side to him? Okay.
Yes, I think there's a little bit of a dark side because like the fact that he went he did all that. You give me like, I don't know.
And so at one point, even Allie was like, dude, have you fucking done this before?
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, no, like, you're my first.
Like, that's crazy.
He's basically
like, and it comes so natural to you. Like, that's interesting. Okay.
She's like, have you fucking stalked somebody before? He's like, no, you popped my cherry.
You see, that's interesting. But you know what? The stalking comes on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not as clear on Allie's side, but she was very much obsessed with him.
Yeah, she was.
Like, on every video, commenting, going as far as commenting all this stuff, like, that's interesting. I wouldn't catch myself.
Okay.
Commenting
in the book. Do you think he's would you call this green flag behavior in a red flag situation?
Green flag behavior in a red flag situation? First of all, I think it's just red flags.
You think the whole thing is red flag?
No, not all of it, but like, I think especially the beginning, it's
a red flag situation, but like, do you think he has green flag behavior?
I guess because
come on,
he's golden retriever, and then he does the security system thing, and
then like he shows up to the hospital after after the mass shooting. She was like dead. Like that girl worked, I think like over 20 plus hours. Yeah. Like she was dead, and so he was like, damn, my girl, because he was stalking her at the hospital too. He could literally hack into the cameras at work, so he was keeping an eye on her, and he was like, damn, my girl can't drive home like that. So that's why he showed up in her car, and he was like, hey, I'm just trying to drive you home. And he put her gun and her knife on the seat and was like, dude, you have all of the control. And at one point she did fucking slice him because like she fucking sucks him off in the car as he's driving her.
Oh no.
Yeah. But like he was like, damn, I can't let you drive home all tired. And he even brought her snacks. I'm like, dude, I 100% see this as green flag behavior in a red flag situation.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
But it is like, all of it is red flag, right? Because like, why the fuck you like breaking into her house? Like, he could have approached this differently, but like, obviously it wouldn't be the fucking story.
Yeah, it wouldn't be exactly.
But like the way he was like very like, you know, like he considered her in like a lot of ways. He even got her little snacks, and she like made him eat one of the snacks before her because she was like, I don't know if you poisoned this shit. So he was like, fuck, right? So he's over here like being under his mask trying to eat like one of the snacks.
Dude.
But she's over here fucking eating like her snacks and like, you know, getting home. But then she like hella like plays into like, she's like, I don't know if I was delirious. I might have been, but like, she's like, dude, he just looks so good. And she wanted to play into the fantasy.
Yeah. It's just that it was really much a big fantasy of hers. And I think that also eased it. Because if it was like, don't get me wrong, you know, like a little mass play isn't, you know, but like for her, I feel like she also like devoted time into like following him.
Yeah.
She was very much into it. You get me? So it's like that's why it was easily digestible for her to just walk outside, and then there's a fucking man in your fucking driver in your car. Yeah.
Okay,
girl.
But okay, let's talk about that moment, because she walks into the parking garage, finds him sitting in her car, and instead of screaming, she gets in. Did this moment make you like, girl, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes. Like, danger, does that radar not work in your head? But that's what I'm saying. That is just like, she's so into this kind of like kink. And it was a mask the same? That's one thing that I was going to ask. Was the mask the same? Always consistently the same?
Yeah, the mask was always the same.
Oh, okay. So maybe because she's like, kind of doesn't know the person behind it, but knows a little bit of them from social media, that it just made it more digestible for her.
Yeah.
Because I bet you what if it was a guy in like, you know, random pig's mask? Like, would that work the same? No, right?
No, absolutely
not. So like, yeah.
Okay. So Allie being down bad. Allie is full aware that the situation is insane, but she still engages with it, which honestly is refreshing because she's not pretending to be morally perfect.
Yeah.
You know? Did you think that Allie felt empowered in the dynamic, or did Josh always have the upper hand?
I think she felt empowered because I think based on the book, right? I think it's something like a fantasy she's always had, and she's taking control over it and deciding to like keep on going with this. Because I feel like if she decided to be like, you know what, this shit stops, it stopped. It would stop.
Yeah, and there was like a time where like I think they didn't have a safe word, but like I think they had this mutual understanding. If she was like saying like stop or like don't, like he would.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of made that clear.
So
because she even told him like, hey, like you still haven't said no.
Yeah.
Like he reminded her like you could always end this and you can say stop or no. But she never would. She would be like, oh my God, you're crazy. Like she would kind of keep going around the fact, but never actually saying no. So like, I think it did. I personally do think she kind of felt empowered, especially when she like, dude, and she even fucking sliced him at one point because she was so into like sucking him off that she didn't realize the knife fucking dug into him. And he was like, ugh, but also like he wanted to keep getting head.
Wait, how did that happen? Like,
because she was holding the knife because like he was, you know, in the car driving, and so she was like holding it to him like you better not fucking try nothing, you know, type shit, you know, like it's, you know, they're still playing along with the fantasy, but she's like, you know, like this is for me, like I know I'm sucking you off, but this is more for me than it is for you. And so like she was like so fucking into it. And she like didn't realize that the knife like was standing in like a certain position, and she like kind of stabbed him a little bit with it, like the tip of the knife went into his side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was like, fuck, but he also was like, damn, that
shit,
feels good.
I'm trying to finish. Okay. No, yeah, definitely. I think she was empowered still on that.
Okay. All right. Do you think she was leaning into the fantasy knowingly, or do you think that she was being swept into something that she didn't fully control? Because even though she did feel empowered, do you think that she was being swept into something that she didn't fully control?
No, I don't think so.
You think she was?
I think she knew what the fuck she was doing.
Okay.
Like, I think she knew what she wanted. She knew what she was doing. And I feel like I said before, like, I feel like she never lacked control, like, in the way that saying, like, if she did not want to partake anymore in this situation, it would stop.
Yeah.
Like, you get me?
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think there was any part where I felt like, oh, he's interesting. Yeah, he's taking advantage of that or something. No, I think it was, well, based on
okay.
summary. So,
and this is just your opinion, do you respect her honesty about being intrigued by the danger? So like her knowing that this whole thing is insane, but she's like, but you know what, like it's my fantasy.
You know what? Yes, 100%. Like, yeah, girl, like it's your fantasy, own that shit, and then you got an opportunity to fucking do it, go for it. Now, am I saying like it's fucking sane, or if in reality like that works out? No, right? But I mean, to each their own, and as long as you do it in a safe way and your partner is safe, and we all parties know, you know, consent. Power to you. Power to you.
He said power to you. Okay. The Brad situation.
Oh yeah.
Suddenly the book turns into accidental homicide and crime cover-up. The plot escalated quickly. Did the Brad storyline feel like a natural escalation of danger? Or did the book suddenly become How to Get Away with Murder, Dark Romance Edition?
I feel like it like pivoted. Like we were going this way and then it went the other way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, obviously I didn't see that coming, but I also like didn't have to come. Like, you get me? Like,
I honestly don't know how they would have continued the I guess you could have gotten creative to keep that fucking plot, that plot going with like the mystery of the stalker. Like, I feel like she was going somewhere with it, but I do think that like the whole Brad situation just kind of felt a little chaotic, where I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
just went like,
yeah, like the whole turn on that, I was like, what in the world is happening? Now, if she had like I feel like the way she could have integrated this a little bit like more seamlessly is if that she already had kind of like a stalker of her own, and so now like two stalkers are fucking competing against.
Oh, you know, yeah, I could see that.
I feel like that would have made it feel a little bit more natural.
Yeah, because this is like, oh, you know, and then this happens, and now this happens, and murder.
Yeah.
But
so
I
yeah.
Before.
Okay. The mob family twist. And when we meet at Allie's mob connected uncle, because apparently this book said let's add organized crime.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes some way you always find yourself in mafia romances.
I know,
bro.
I really do. Did the mob family element work for you, or do you feel like it was just plot convenience?
I think it was plot convenience.
So do I. Because when she was like, all of a sudden, like, I have this uncle that's in the mob, and the family doesn't even have any, like, mob connection. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
it was convenient to cover up the murder. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think it made the story a little bit more fun or more ridiculous?
A little ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
It's just out of nowhere, like, oh, I have an uncle and he's in the mob and he
all
can help us cover up.
Yeah, all of a sudden our problems are gonna like. I feel like if they were gonna like commit to like, oh my god, we accidentally fucking killed somebody, now we have to hide the body. Like, I feel like they should have committed to the chaoticness of them fucking trying to navigate like how to do this on their own. I feel like adding the mob family element definitely was kind of like came out of left field.
Yeah, like,
and you're just
problem solved without putting too much effort in
exactly I agree. And this is why I was originally gonna be like, dude, this is like, this book is kind of all over the place. I was gonna, rate it a 3, but then the whole element, I was like, this is a 4.
No.
But like, I felt like it was a little too convenient. I agree.
It was.
Okay. Josh's fear of becoming his father. Josh's biggest internal conflict is his fear that he might be like his infamous criminal father. That fear drives a lot of his secrecy and control. Did that backstory make Josh more sympathetic, or did it feel like an excuse for his behavior?
Damn, I think it made me, in my opinion, a little bit, this sucks, a little bit more sympathetic at the fact that, he is trying so hard not to be his dad.
Yeah.
And so then when he accidentally kills him, he's like, shit, like, I felt bad for the dude because it wasn't his intention. Yeah, he still ended up killing him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I do kind of make him, I feel like it makes him a little bit more sympathetic. Yeah. Because I mean, again, like, what kind of person Josh would have been if his father was never like this serial killer? Like, who would he have actually been? You know, because like now he goes above and beyond to like, not try to be like his dad and like, like be.
That's crazy, because even like the whole like
and even with him like doing what he did to Allie, like, breaking into her house and being a fucking stalker and all this shit. Like, even like there was internal conflict there where he was like, fuck, like, like I also don't want to be like my dad, but here I am breaking into her fucking house. Like, he just became obsessive, and like there was that internal conflict. But at the end of the day, like I feel like there was like a dubious consent there, because like even though like he never, got like a straightforward after they got that bump, like the initial bump, like she never really said no. Like it was kind of like he kind of kept being a weirdo.
Yeah, but she kept on like,
but she kept wanting it. She could have stopped it at any point. But okay. The actual romance. At the end of the day, this is supposed to be a love story. But it's a love story built on stalking, obsession, crime cover-ups, and mutual chaos. Did you believe Allie and Josh actually loved each other, or did they just bond through adrenaline and shared bad decisions?
Can I say like a little bit of both?
I
think that they definitely like built a connection, and they genuinely like it was a good relationship, because you could see like even him asking her to be his girlfriend, like I don't know, it was just
like they were into each other.
Yeah,
they
were very much into each other. It wasn't like you're mine and that's it. You get me? But I do feel that the adrenaline played a lot into it, because that's how it all started.
I think it drew them closer together.
Like they both liked that element, and they found a mutual understanding in that, and they just grew.
Yeah, I also think that like I do do think that like trauma kind of bonds us with people. Like when
Yeah.
you guys like, and I had seen this statistic somewhere that if you happen to go through some kind of like deep trauma and somebody else is with it, like you guys are like more your chances of being in like some kind of romantic, like if you guys are like into that sex or whatever, but like
Yeah.
your chances of being in like some kind of romantic relationship with them like increases significantly just by sharing some kind of trauma together. So like that's why sometimes like you'll hear about like the foster siblings that like go through some like shit, end up being in a relationship because you know like it kind of brings you closer together.
Yeah.
So I do think that like this whole like fuck we accidentally killed somebody and like now we're trying to cover it up, but Allie did not. Like one thing about Allie is that like obviously she wasn't a fucking killer, but she was also like, I'm not losing sleep over killing this piece of shit who fucking treated women badly and then killed them. Like, so I do think that that kind of brought them closer together, but they're also like, I do think that like the adrenaline and that like, fuck like that, oh my God, we're going to get caught. Like, you know, like that, like kind of brings people closer together. But I do think that they were genuinely into each other. Like they shared like mutual kinks that they were into. And like, you know, I do think they were down bad for each other.
She's lucky that he was handsome.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, bro.
Imagine he wasn't. She's like, you know what? Keep the mask on.
Exactly. Be the mask on at all times.
Yeah. Okay. Final question, and let's be honest with ourselves. Mm-hmm. If a masked man secretly entered your house and started leaving you gifts, are you calling the police, moving immediately, installing 12 cameras, and burning sage, or texting him back like Allie?
In Las Vegas, I would definitely be fucking calling the police.
I feel like I would also be wanting to move.
Yeah, 100%. I'll move states, countries. I don't know. I'll move somewhere. No, you ain't finding me.
You said you are not finding me.
No, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Crazy.
Okay. All right. So let's move into if this were a movie.
Okay.
All right. If this were a movie.
And it is going to be a movie, right?
It's going to be a show.
A show. Okay.
It's going to be a show, I think, on Netflix.
Are you excited?
Fuck yeah. Because I read the book and at first I was like, how the fuck are they gonna like, I didn't really see like the beginning of it. I was like, how the fuck are they gonna make this into like a movie, like a show or a movie? Like I didn't really like, it just kind of felt like it was just like a woman and her fantasies and they were kind of coming real, and I'm like, okay, like this kind of feels like, you know, whatever. Yeah. And then it kind of like, even just the chaoticness of it, I'm like, this is kind of all over the place. But I'm excited to see it because it's, I don't know, like I'm like, is it going to look like what I envisioned it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Josh. I'm seeing Theo James.
Who's Theo James?
He is 4 from the Divergent series.
Theo James. Sorry, I have to look him up because I'm not good with names.
Well, have you seen Divergent?
Yeah.
4. I'm
trying to remember.
The male main character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, him. I just looked at him. I'm like, him. Yes, I
get that. Him. Okay, so I'm seeing Josh as Theo James.
Okay.
And Allie, I'm seeing Sophia Carson. Purple Hearts and My Oxford Year.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it.
It was between her or like a young Nina Dobrev.
That's a Vampire Diaries, right?
Yeah, Elena Gilbert. Mm-hmm. A young Elena, like a younger Elena Gilbert.
Yeah, no, but I think she's a good choice.
Yeah, and I'm like, she's like, now I think of like books to screen, Sophia Carson.
Sophia Carson.
I loved Purple Hearts, and My Oxford Year was really cute.
My Oxford Year was really cute.
So that's what I'm seeing. And the song is Animals by Maroon 5.
Okay.
Do you know the song? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like, oh, Predator. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
that's the song.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Cute discussion, though. Quick discussion. Do we want, if this were a movie, do we want Josh's face revealed early or keep the mask mystery as long as possible?
Keep the mask mystery as long as possible.
I agree.
Like, it builds that intensity. You get me? Like
you're like, who the fuck is it?
Yeah.
I agree. But also, like, it's kind of crazy because, like, I feel like how the fuck would they play it so that they could keep it, you know?
That's what I was thinking, because it goes like, you know, you do the mass thing, but also it gives glimpses of his life, right? His day-to-day life. So how is that going to go about? Or do you take away that whole element?
I don't know. But I would prefer that they keep it a mystery.
Yeah.
As long as possible.
Me too.
Okay. Do you think that the story would work better if this were a movie or show? Do you think the story would work better as a dark romance thriller or lean harder into dark rom-com chaos? I think, personally, dark rom-com chaos. Like, I want to be like, oh, shit, but be laughing at the same time. Like, it's going to build into the dynamic of the characters.
Yeah,
and
especially with the whole golden retriever aspect of him. I feel like it's much more fitting, that rom-com. I feel like if he was very much like possessive, like no, none of that stuff,
like it's not Haunting Adeline.
Yeah, exactly
like that's dark fucking romance thriller for sure. I think for me this would be better as a dark rom-com, especially if he is golden retriever.
I think so. It plays better with that element.
Okay, but most importantly,
right,
are we watching this in theaters, or like is this something we would watch here because we need to pause every 5 minutes and be like, girl, what the fuck?
I'd watch it in both, girl. Like, let's go to the theaters, watch it, have a recap. Okay, watch it again at home, and then pause every fucking 5 minutes. I feel like this is something I would rewatch.
Yeah,
just I don't know. It would seem like, especially if it's a thriller rom-com type thing. Like, I feel like it would be a good.
Well, I think like since it's a good thing it's gonna come out like on Netflix, so we could literally be like, girl, what the fuck?
What happened? Who is he? I'm excited to see how they're gonna play the whole mass thing. And how long they're gonna keep him.
Me too.
A secret.
Okay, so. Just to wrap everything up on Pillow Talk, I'm giving the spice rating a 4. Did have a lot of like kinks and all that kind of stuff, but it was definitely no erotica. Like, I don't think the spice was like that spicy.
Like, it didn't overpower the plot.
Yeah.
Or plots.
Whatever plots the fuck.
Say plots.
It was plots for sure. So spice rating for me was a 4. Overall rating, I'm giving it a 4 again.
Okay.
Or as well, because, you know, he was a golden retriever.
Yeah.
But final thoughts, would I recommend this? Yes, I would, because it was just kind of chaotic. But also, like, I don't know, like there was parts of it that I really liked. And
so, do you agree with Book Talk? Because this book is up there for Book Talk.
I think it was definitely overhyped. I think it was definitely, like, people are like obsessed, and I get it. Remember, I think I mentioned it to you a couple times. I'm like, I see why people are obsessed with it, because it's like mask talk. Like, they play into the whole, like, it's kind of like reality, right? Like, people are super into fucking like, there's Book Talk is like big, and like people are like love, you know, seeing that kind of content and like playing into like the morally gray man and all that. So you kind of get like that fantasy and like to actually kind of see that play out, but like in a storyline, like I could definitely see why people are obsessed. But I do think that it was I think it was overhyped. Like, I still think, you know, it's a good book. I think it's overhyped.
Okay.
What do you think? Well, you haven't read it, but
I
like
haven't read it, but based on it, it seems like a good book. I think I understand the hype of why it's all over fucking Book Talk. But I definitely, like I said, I would read this book.
You said I would read it.
I read it.
Little mask play, golden retriever.
Right up my alley, bro. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's go into, with all of that being said, let's go into hot takes and heartaches.
Yes. Okay, let's get into hot takes and heartaches. Angel, you said your final answer was a 4,
yes,
right? Based on Goodreads, out of 619,457 ratings, that's a lot of ratings. But then again, it's a very, very popular book. They gave it a 4.09 in average ratings. So pretty on par with what you were saying. You get me? Do you think a lot of them give it a 4 for the same reason that you did? Do you think so?
Probably.
Because of that.
I think so. Like, it's just like cute, but also like the plots are kind of chaotic. Like, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go into the ratings, what people say. Keep in mind these are lightly edited, guys, just because a lot of them are really long. So we have to squish them together.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but we're highlighting the important parts.
Yeah.
One starts. Let's start with the people who said, you know what,
this was not my fucking cup of tea.
This is fucking not it. Okay. I couldn't get past the stalking. I know it's supposed to be fantasy, but someone secretly entering her home and watching her felt creepy, not romantic. Understandable.
Yeah, that is understandable.
Yeah.
But also, like, you're picking a dark romance book. Like,
that too. That too. If not, then just get
your fucking Hallmark.
else.
Yeah, go get Hallmark movies.
Get something else. There's something for everybody. Somebody else said, this MMC crossed way too many boundaries for me. I kept waiting for the book to acknowledge how messed up the behavior was. Do not read Haunting Adeline, because let me tell you, that will give you a heart attack. I didn't even read it. But if you think that he crossed so many lines, like,
I mean,
girl,
he did cross, and they did kind of acknowledge it. Like, they did kind of like, okay, like, you did fucking break into her house type shit. But also, like, he was also like very green flag behavior. Like, he got her snacks. He showed up to give her a ride even though she was tired. Like
he was a stalker, but like a good one, though.
Yeah. And also, like, what if he wasn't even at her house? Like, who the fuck would have taken care of Bradley? No. And he like loved her cat. Like,
what else do you want?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and he fucking made her breakfast, even though she was like, damn, that shit was horrible. Oh. Like, she said it tasted like total shit.
Oh, really?
Because he made her like eggs and bacon and stuff, but also he's like a vegan. He doesn't eat that stuff, but he still made it for her. So he was putting aside his own preferences for her. Okay.
Damn. Very, yeah. But you know, I guess, like I said, not everybody's cup of tea. But at the same time, it's like you're tuning into, I definitely think it's one of those books that once you see it, you kind of know it's a dark romance.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
and literally, the couple who slays together stays together.
Oh, there we go. So it's like, I don't imagine, if you don't like these kind of elements, why pick up a book?
Or also read the fucking trigger warnings.
That too.
Like, literally, we tell everybody, read the trigger warnings.
Yeah, like, but even then, just looking at the cover, it's like, if you know that you don't like dark romance like that, because it seems like you don't, based on, like, you know, all this stuff, because it is a lot of morally gray men, right? Then why pick it up?
Yeah.
But then again, you know, everybody maybe it was given it a try. I don't know. So, somebody else said, I love dark romance, but this one just wasn't for me. The premise felt unrealistic and I couldn't suspend my disbelief. What do you think?
I get it. That one I get. Like, they like dark romance, but they were like, the premise of it was just not believable. Because again, like, even leaning into like book talk and you see all these things, like, what are the fucking chances that this one guy that you're just like, damn, and then he just becomes your own stalker? Like, he's actually a stalker and he's just not playing a part, you know? Like, it is kind of, but then again, it is a dark romance book. Like, how much of this is actually fucking realistic?
That's true. But then he ends up being the roommate of the guy that you were fucking.
Yeah.
So it's like,
there is a lot of disbelief, but again, it's a dark romance book.
It's fantasy. Like, it's not like real. You get me? Like, it's fiction. Okay, let's go to the people that are like, you know what? This is a good book. Not my fave. We're giving it 3 stars, okay? This was definitely entertaining, but also chaotic. I enjoyed parts of it, but I had to turn my brain off a little.
I agree with that one. And that's how I felt, I think. Like, I was very much like, oh, this is entertaining. It's fucking chaotic, but, you know, like, okay, I'm going along with it. Again, I only gave it a 4 because of, you know, the golden retriever energy and, like, the whole, like, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah. Okay. The banter was great and the chemistry was there, but the stalker element was a lot. I'm still deciding how I feel about it.
Okay.
Whatever. It was fun and spicy, but also kind of ridiculous at times. I had a good time reading it though. See,
I see that, yeah.
Kind of like what you were going. I feel like you said it many times. You know, the golden retriever took it up a notch for you. So, This is like, now let's go into what people like. These people say this is like the fucking best book. Like 5-star read. 5-star read.
Yeah.
Okay. This man was obsessed, unhinged, and somehow still a golden retriever boyfriend. I ate this up. Hey, me too. Like, somebody else said, I can't believe a book about a mass stalker ended up being one of the healthiest relationships I've ever read in dark romance. Low key though, that's so true. Like a mass stalker guy, and they ended up being in such a healthy relationship. Like, what are crazy?
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
I agree with that.
It's crazy. The tension, the banter, the kink dynamic, everything worked for me. This book knew exactly what it was doing. So yeah, I feel like a lot of that, like, it kind of like goes with what you said, except they really liked it.
Yeah.
And it was like their best book. So that's good. Okay. Everything goes along. Okay. So I do have like something to ask you, right? Is a stalker trope something you can enjoy purely as fantasy, or does it cross the line for you?
I can 100% enjoy it as fantasy.
Because I could see how, like, based on the like reviews, some people like are in between, right?
Yeah.
Some people like are on one side of the spectrum, and others are like, yeah,
like,
fantasy.
that's creepy as shit.
Yeah, and others are like, yeah, I fucking love this. I ate this shit up.
Yeah.
So it's like a...
Honestly, I can enjoy it because I know it's like, it's a book. Like, I know that it's like, I feel, maybe, okay, Haunting Adeline, like, there was parts of it that I'm like, holy shit, like I do think it took away from the romance aspect of it, but like this, like, I don't know, like, this was like, it was a little goofy, like it was goofy, but also like there are parts of it where, like, if this was real life, you would be like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Like, but I think for entertainment purposes, like, I can enjoy it.
But then again, a lot of books are like that though. I feel like if things happen in real life, it'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You get me? But when it's in a book, it's like, okay,
yeah,
it's a good story.
Like, let's explore this.
Yeah, like, imagine just like a lot of the romances being like a lot of book romances being like romances nowadays. It's like, oh yeah, we were talking, then we were fucking, and then somehow we ended up together, and here we go. Like, that's all. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, they need to do some build up for like the reader, right? Did the story balance obsession and consent well enough to make the romance believable? Do you think so?
Okay, say it again.
Did the story balance obsession and consent well enough to make the romance believable?
In the book, yes. In real life, I'd be like, girl, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, imagine if I just told you.
If you told me this shit and you were like, this guy broke into my house, but like, damn, like, he felt good. Like, you're telling me, I'd be like, girl, are you okay? Like, I would be concerned.
Yeah. I feel like you would too. I feel like
I'd be like, girl, you're going a little too far.
Is like, everything good?
I would literally be like, I don't think this is healthy.
You see, like, it just doesn't work a lot in like
in real life.
Yeah.
But like in the book, like, yeah, like, I think it balanced it pretty well. And then I was like, damn, they're so cute,
No, I believe the same thing. So did the mask and the mystery make the romance hotter, or did it make the dynamic feel more unsettling?
I think it made it hotter. I think, like, the fact that you're like, but the good thing is that he's hot, because like, if he
that's what I'm saying.
Like, it only works because he's hot.
Because what happens if, like, let's say he takes off the mask and he's like,
or he got some fucked up teeth.
Yes, or he
like,
got no teeth,
or you said, or he has no teeth, or no. I think it only works because he's hot, but like, I think it does it's like a little bit of mystery, because you're like, oh my god, like, you get to, I don't know. I think it just kind of.
Yeah, me too. I think it plays into it, like, it's the book. So, yeah, but yeah, that's it for hot takes and heartaches. Let's go to kiss and tell.
Yes, there is a kiss and tell.
Long time no see.
Yeah, long time no see. It is time for Kiss and Tell, because if Lights Out unlocked something in you, we have follow-ups. If you loved this, if you loved this man is unwell but weirdly boyfriend material energy in Lights Out, it escalates accordingly. First up, Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. If obsessive but golden retriever did it for you, now imagine morally flexible serial killers with chemistry, banter, and shared hobby that requires bleach. It's dark rom-com chaos. It's criminally foreplay. If it's we should not be laughing, but we absolutely are. The obsession is mutual. The vibes are unhinged, and somehow you're rooting for them while questioning your own moral compass. We've reviewed it. We spiraled. No regrets. And this is actually the highest rated book that we've done.
The
Butcher and Blackbird.
And it's also another really famous book talk.
Yes. So I think if you've read this book and you really liked it, I think you should definitely read Butcher and Blackbird. Now, if you read Lights Out and thought, okay, but what if we removed the golden retriever and made it darker? Hello, Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton.
Proceed with cautious.
Yeah, caution. This stalker romance with teeth, heavy obsession. This is stalker romance with teeth. Heavy obsession, way less can I be your boyfriend, and way more I was always watching. It's darker, riskier, and not softened by cuddly energy. If you want full morally gray chaos and you're comfortable living in that tension, this one commits. So depending on how unwell you're trying to be this week, I just gave you a few tiers of obsession: soft chaos, playful murder, full psychological warfare. So Kiss and Tell complete, your move. All right, besties. So normally this is where we'd say to be continued and send you off to read the next morally questionable love story. But today the to be continued is about us. And we wanted to take a moment to talk to you about that. So we wanted to take a moment and share a little something personal with you. After a lot of thought, we've decided to take a break from Book Size Matters. For a while, this wasn't an easy decision because this show and the community that's grown around it means so much to us. So from the very first episode to every chaotic group chat spiral since, you've listened, laughed with us, argued with us, and honestly made this whole thing feel bigger than we've ever imagined. To everyone who tuned in every week, sent us messages, or shared episodes with friends, or just quietly listened while we dissected fictional men like it was our full-time job.
Literally.
Thank you. Truly, your support is the reason that this little corner of the internet felt like such a fun place to be. Right now, we're stepping away for a bit to rest, reset, and focus on life outside of the mic. We don't have a timeline for when we'll be back, but this isn't a goodbye. Think of it more like an intermission. The books aren't going anywhere, the chaos isn't going anywhere, and hopefully neither are we. So until then, keep reading, keep judging fictional men accordingly, and take care of yourselves.
Yes.
We appreciate you more than you know.
Very much.
So that's it for now, besties. Thank you for being part of this little chaotic book club with us. We've loved every spiral, every hot take, and every moment we spent unpacking these stories together. So for now, we're pressing pause, like every good romance, and we're leaving the door open for a future chapter. So until then, keep reading, keep judging fictional men accordingly, and maybe stay out of the parking garage if the masked man is in your car.
Yeah, I'll try. We'll see about that.
So do you have any last words, Edith? Not last words, but you know.
Goddamn, I was like, ooh.
That was a bit morbid.
No, like I think you said everything beautifully. Like, thank you for everybody who has listened to us and everything. It's not like, oh my God, we're leaving forever. You know what? You just need some time. We just need some time, get our reading up maybe during this time and come back refreshed, and we'll see when that happens.
Let's just call this the reading slump.
Yes. That. So, yeah, but thank you so much, guys.
So this isn't the end of the story. It is truly just to be continued. So, bye guys. Bye.